Now, you must have heard about something called infrastructure fund in Kenya. That infrastructure fund, there's a bill in parliament which I've read all of it. It is proposing everything else we do. It's like you have a bill proposing Kenyans will be breathing, and then Kenyans will be walking, and the Kenyans will be eating, and then we will be wearing clothes. All the things in that bill are things the country already is doing. We will be privatizing companies. We're already doing that. We've been doing that since a long time ago. We'll be selling underperforming government assets. We've been doing all that. We'll be putting resources together. We've been doing that. We'll be allocating government or budget money into the fund. We've been allocating budget money into infrastructure. There is only one thing in that bill that Kenya wants to do and it has never done. And it's not a very good thing. The infrastructure fund has only one objective. Only one. The rest ni ya kujaza bill ikuwe page kama 20 something. Only one sentence. Only one sentence is there for the reason the government knows. That reason is called borrowing and leveraging. That after now we sell KPC, Kenya Pipeline, and of course Safaricom, we put that money into the infrastructure fund. Safaricom was sold before in 2007. So it's not a new thing to do privatization. But the essence of now what the government wants to achieve is that after you borrow 500 billion shillings, you now take a loan of times 10 of that. So you use that as collateral. Not as collateral, as seed money to buy times 10 of that. So when you hear those words coming from government like leveraging, leveraging is a crude word meaning borrowing. They want to borrow 5 trillion Kenya shillings on top of what? Kenya is currently borrowing. Yesterday we had a very good debate in parliament about debt. Fortunately, even when you talk big English out here, figures, they never talk English. Figures, they talk plain language. So there was a bill yesterday. There was a report from government itself, because the report was of the committee, but on a motion that was brought by government itself on managing debt. It's called MTDS. And you realize Kenya has been borrowing an average of 1.25 trillion Kenya shillings every year since 2022. Every single day, including today, Kenya is borrowing 4 billion shillings on net terms. Net meaning, sijaweka ile tumekopa kulipa deni ile ingine. Hiyo sijaweka. 4 billion every day on net terms. Na hapo, sijaweka ile kazi mnaona inaendelea hii Kenya. Because hiyo part ya hiyo pesa. Expansion ya Nairobi Nakuru Road, haiko hapo. That's another PPP. That's a PPP. It will also become some form of borrowing later when the toll money is not sufficient. When you see other roads being constructed, it's also not part of that loan. It's another illegal loan we have taken called securitization. When you see a stadium being built, it's also not part of the 4 billion. It is a 46 billion loan, a 44 billion loan we have taken, where we are paying an interest of 100 billion shillings in 15 years. When you hear about Bombers of Kenya, it's also not part of this loan. It is another way of borrowing money using the tourism fund. So what we must ask as Kenyans constantly is accountability of the monies we are borrowing. Because now we want to deviate, because tumekopa sana ile deni ya kawaida ya government. Now we want to deviate by opening another book on the side called infrastructure fund. We borrow an extra 5 billion bila kuulizwa swali. My friends, I can tell you, if we do not have a stop on this, we will all pay the price of incompetence of decision making at the leadership level. Ghana paid the price, where you owe government, the government owes you through T-bills, let's say $1 million. The government forced Ghanaians to take haircuts. The government comes and tells you, I know you bought a bill or a board of $1 million, but from today we owe you 700,000. You can go where you want to go. And that is the government telling you exactly that. Senegal is in the same situation. So the things I talk about, and especially debt, which we are now want to borrow now at a higher speed through infrastructure fund, is not a very good model to grow the economy. If you want to grow infrastructure, grow the economy, grow the revenue, grow the taxes, then you do all the things you want to do, just as Kebake did it. Thank you very much. May God